person, it's very easy for me to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I am that type of person.
That
But
doesn't
I'm
make
not.
Like, do you change
Fake
yourself
it
for
till you
them?
make it. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah,
Like
kinda
create a
like that.
what
persona.
I'm getting from this is that you led people on, correct? Like you would
No, he,
lead them on.
no,
don't
he's
lead-
not saying that at all. He's
Oh,
what
no,
he's
no,
trying to
it's
say
people
is
on.
he's able to
saying that-
like change his personality.
Dude,
towards-
y'all are.
He's able to adapt to people. It's
That's
I
normal.
mean, that's a perfectly fine.
I
thing to
mean,
do.
you
It's
naturally change
that
yourself to
way.
be around people you like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Dude, that
Right, but
I mean, if it
don't
makes you do
mean-
bad things, then that's not.
I don't mean
that's not good.
change myself for a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
I feel that, dude. Like, dude, when I'm talking to girls, I don't tell them any of the shit I've done until I'm actually getting serious with them, in case they actually care about that
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, I have the opposite. I tell literally anyone everything about myself because I couldn't give two craps, and if they don't like me, then they won't talk to me, and it's a pretty
Oh no,
effective way.
they're
It's
gonna
like-
know. They're gonna
Yeah,
know
yeah.
I'm a fucking drug addict. I'm just not gonna tell them the shit I've done.
It's
Oh,
like
yeah, well-
it's different.
I feel really fucked lately because I just basically have had. I know it sounds really fucking stupid, and I'm like, it sounds like I'm gonna try to boost my ego here, even though I'm really not trying to, and I'm just being genuinely honest. I've
Yeah.
had people fall in love with me within like 3 days of knowing, and I felt like shit for. Yeah, I felt like shit for it because I'd eventually be like, yeah, maybe I should try this out, and it's just been the same recurring shit. You get me? But I've been genuinely getting a hold on myself and being able to set my boundaries because I'm a codependent person, and it's really fucked.
I know.
I feel like it's a little weird and different for me because like I had it really rough growing up, so I don't usually try to put that on other people or make other people
Yeah.
feel bad because I know what it's like to be at the very bottom. Trust me. And I don't know,
Yeah.
you guys don't. I know you guys don't care. I'm not gonna get into it. It's not that I'm uncomfortable with the topic. Trust me. I tell almost everyone I know about my fucked up past, right?
I would totally love to hear, but
But like,
again, you do.
what I'm
Dude, your
saying
mic
is,
is insane.
Pardon?
Sorry. I was talking about crispy bacon's mic. It's kind of insane.
But what are you saying?
yeah,
What do
no,
you- how do you
just
mean?
I've been through so much shit that I don't wanna do that with other people. So I try to be relatively good to everyone that I come across.
Yeah.
I mean, some people deserve to be dicks. Deserve to be a dick too, though.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
Doesn't mean you have to be the
been-
person to be the dick to them. You
yeah.
know?
Dude,
Life has its
I
life.
definitely try to be.
Life has its own way of punishing those people. I feel like, I don't know, just karma.
Nah, dude. You'd be surprised. There are a lot of evil people out there. Do you think every single
Yeah.
take drug dealers for example? They literally get so much money and so much. They literally get so much money for being greedy and wanting to hurt people.
Doesn't it always catch up to them though? Like, I don't know.
It does eventually, but
That's
like,
what I try to believe in. That's like, I don't know, if I had to
Get
pick
fucked,
a
idiot.
religion, my religion would be karma or some shit.
hmm
well, karma doesn't exactly exist. What you guys are thinking of is your actions will eventually probably lead up to a certain consequence, depending on how you
pride
live your life.
before the fall.
I mean,
Yeah,
no matter
that's
what you
Like
do,
the more bad,
there's gonna be
more
a
bad
consequence.
actions you make, the higher likelihood of a bad.
Yeah,
thing
I know.
happening.
That's kind of what I
know
mean.
That's
karma-
Yeah.
not, that's not karma.
I know
That's just,
karma is
that's
just an
It's,
idea.
statistics.
it's sort of
idea.
like karma, but it's yeah.
So I know that karma is just an idea, but I mean more like the universe has, if I had to put it, like a universe has a mind of its own where those who do bad usually end up getting bad.
Well, the problem with that is that there's two things. Like when you make bad decisions,
Well, hold
of
on,
course, you're
okay.
definitely gonna have like bad things happen to you because it was a bad decision, and generally you get in trouble for doing bad things, or there's a higher likelihood, unless you're sneaky. But eventually you'll mess up, and then
Right.
get
I'm
in
not
trouble.
saying that everyone who does bad gets bad. I'm saying more like it helps it helps you sleep at night if you think about the person who traumatized you as a child is eventually gonna.
I feel like that.
I mean, like
get
if you think, I mean, like, if you think that the universe has karma, are you saying that you believe in the existence of a god? I mean, like, that would have to be a higher power doing something like that, right? The
Right. You
universe
could
isn't a
you
lie.
could say that's the basis of being agnostic is believing in a higher power that isn't necessarily an established like religious figure. But you know, who's to say that the universe isn't alive within itself? Like, the universe controls itself, and that's why you have like weird coincidences or, you know, instant regret or karma to things. Why sometimes things just work out.
I think what you said before kind of fits perfectly. Your brain wants to see stuff that
Yeah.
it wants to see.
It helps you
And
sleep
like
at night.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's exactly like it helps you sleep at night. If you think that everything is gonna be like all cool to those who do bad things, and usually it works out that way, and that's what's nice.
Yeah, I can agree with
I
that
mean,
100%.
well then, take a look at me. I literally just lied through my teeth to my parents, like today, about something, and nothing's bad happened to me.
Yeah,
You have a
I
worse
know.
relationship with your parents.
I mean,
No,
like,
I actually have a better one
you-
for it.
you do get
not
addicted to
morally.
things, though.
Not morally, but it's not like my parents trusted me in the first place.
I mean, you don't build
Exactly, they
that
don't
trust.
you because you lied to them.
See, like, that's the thing. I agree with you saying, oh yeah, if you believe something's gonna happen, it's gonna appear for you. It's, well, not really appear for you, but if you believe it, it's gonna help you sleep at night. Because that was the whole thing going on with, like, something that happened recently. I had to truly believe that everything was gonna be okay, even just to sleep at night. It was crazy.
I
It
have
helped
trouble
me out,
sleeping
but
anyway.
it's just like it never came up, and I was like, oh,
Hey man,
fuck.
I mean, if you believe that your abuser is gonna end up in a rough place, which so far my abuser, he's not doing too hot, so.
Where is he now?
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Well, he still hasn't made it out of the fucking shithole that he's in, and he still can't get away from the police.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you know how you have to understand though, like when people do that, like when someone does something, I guess mean or messed up to you, they probably have a reason for it. It might not be a great reason, but you also
Are you baiting me into telling you what happened?
No.
He's trying to say he could have had a rough upbringing. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I feel like
people
it's
do
an endless
things most of the time
cycle.
for a reason. So,
Yeah,
like,
it's an endless cycle of people in pain from the
You're-
beginning and like
you're
bringing it up
baiting
on
me.
others.
You're
I'm
baiting
not-
me into telling you what happened, just that you could try and get a reason from it. Because I truly
Okay.
believe that his reason for what he did is just because he's an awful person. He's an awful person, and
That's
his
that's
reason.
normally.
you're
not-
exposed to
normally if
things.
People
That's,
do that.
it's scientifically proven that it's not the case. There are
The
reasons
reason
that's,
that people
there-
are like
there
that is
reason
because
that
other
sci-
people did that to them. Sorry for interrupting you.
there are reasons that the human psyche is predictable. There are reasons that people do stuff from their past. It's proven.
Yeah,
It's
right.
a proven thing.
People
You
normally
can
have
change,
a reason
though.
for
You
it.
can
You're,
change.
you're
Okay,
sort
okay.
of talking about
Sorry.
determinism here because everyone has three major things that pretty much determine destiny, which genetics, their environments. Well, I forget the third one, but these things basically, it's basically thinking the thought of you have no free will, that everything else, the actions around you, determines your actions. So because you were born in a shitty family, that has basically led your life to be shit, or you know.
That doesn't
That's
have-
not
that's
true.
not-
but you
Dude,
still
that's not how it has to
you
be.
have
over
the
that.
choice. You have the choice.
You
Yeah,
don't really
still
have
have
a
authority.
choice.
It's a lot
because
lo-
all your
You absolutely
decisions,
have authority over that.
Oh yes,
all your
yes,
decisions
you do
and
have a
thoughts
choice.
are based on what you were
Have you?
born
Wait,
with.
You
so
do
can
start to have
change-
inclinations
Okay,
towards certain things.
Are you telling me that Ted Bundy had didn't have a choice to kill those people?
No, I don't think he really. I mean, he thought he
Okay,
has a choice,
Hold on,
but
hold on. Can I say something here? All right. So there are so sometimes right, people like anyone can be anything until they're born, and that's when things start
Yeah.
influencing them to do a specific thing. So murderers, right? They aren't like necessarily choosing like, yeah, I want to be a murderer. Most
Some
murderers
people
aren't.
are born murderers, though. Some people are just
People
born
aren't
psychotic.
born
Hey, you can
murderers.
change.
They
I have
people
a quick
aren't born
question.
murderers.
That's not like a part of anything that we're talking. I'm sorry about this, but how do you guys feel about the new Minecraft cave update?
I'm very happy about it. I'm super glad.
Look,
it took
I-
10
I-
years.
I'm
so
looking at all the
excited.
change. I'm looking at all the change to Minecraft, and I sound like a boomer, but I just don't see the same value in it, and I don't know. It just doesn't have
I
that
think it
same
was a year
charm.
after the PvP update.
But anyways,
Yeah,
I
it just
believe
seems.
you have a choice. I believe that you can change and that you aren't predetermined to be an asshole if you're raised in that type of environment.
Yeah, you definitely.
Well,
definitely
you
are
can
influenced
change if
that
you
way,
have
though.
maybe a mentor or someone who helps you see a better path. but,
Exactly.
like-
It's tough to make
you
those
can choose
connections.
to be a
But that-
better person
but-
if you don't believe that that's who
You
you
really
are.
need
but
someone
that was
else just
because
by
that
chance
belief was
to.
No, dude,
was
that's
pushed
not.
upon you.
Dude, just because I don't believe that. I mean, like, you have the choice. If you're sitting in the slums with no money, you have the choice to get up off your ass, go try your ass off of school, and to get into college and put yourself through college and live a better life so your kids can have a better life.
Yeah, but
You
that
have
doesn't
the
mean
choice
everyone
to
has
do that.
equal will to do that and make that choice. You know, you really
Exactly.
need
I mean,
a
yeah,
proper
but you
environment
can-
for that.
But even the
Okay.
fact that people even the fact that that does exist already disproves like no, you do have a choice, and even though not everyone does, people do.
Just go to
You
school
have
and
a
try
choice,
harder,
yes.
forehead.
You technically have a choice, but no one can really see that they don't see it.
Just don't be depressed and have mental illnesses, forehead.
Rest.
Don't have mental illnesses, forehead. Like,
Oh
but there
my
are conditions that are
I-
that are created where people don't have the same wills.
Depression, and anxiety is used so much anymore. It just doesn't even have an effect on me anymore. Yeah, depression, anxiety, welcome to the fucking club. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Like here's my issue with this is that I'm talking about how I was raised in an environment for 11 years surrounded by and abused, sexually assaulted and physically assaulted and abused myself and my mother, and you're saying that I'm now predetermined because I was raised in that environment to be that kind of.
I'm not saying you're predetermined. I'm
No.
saying it's
oh,
harder to.
It definitely helps. That's what
You
I'm
know.
saying.
You know.
that I'm going to
definitely helps.
repeat.
Yeah,
Isn't
we're
the
not
fact
that
saying
you're
it isn't
sitting here-
shitty what happened to you or anything.
So there are
No,
two
I
different.
didn't even say that. I didn't.
There
say
are
that.
two different paths that people take with environments like those. Like you either bury yourself from that, or you just fall into that kind of I don't know
The fact that I'm
mentality.
sitting here
or that
saying
slump.
that that was shitty and that I don't like that and that I don't want to be that should already be a good sign that I'm
I mean,
not
yeah, that's a good
falling.
sign. You took the better route, you know. But some
Yeah.
people just
You
become
know-
complacent and like.
The fact that
You
I
know-
went to a therapist and I went to the police
And it's because
And
you
I've-
had those resources that you have become a better person.
and throughout the past 6 years I've bettered myself. Like that's already a good sign that being raised in that environment doesn't mean that you're bound to repeat those tendencies.
Okay. There. But
Okay,
there's
once again,
totally
the human
people,
psyche
though,
is
that-
very predictable. Being raised in those kind of environments is predictable to produce certain types of people. Not always those types of people, but certain types of people are made in those environments.
I think that the environment that you're placed in definitely determines who you're gonna be. However, you can choose with different. There's like different things that you can be. The environment you were raised in will change what you are like. That doesn't mean that you have to be the
That
person.
person.
But
that
it's
contradicts
still,
itself.
there still is people. There still are. Sorry, not is. There still are people that that will like they say they're not going to do that, and then they turn out doing that just because it is almost in their nature. But it's
It's
not.
ingrained in them
You
as
That
can
a child.
sentence-
choose.
That sentence contradicts itself,
It doesn't
saying that.
contradict itself.
Well, think about you're saying that
Fuck
Being-
off, Sombra!
being raised in an environment can determine that you're going to be that person,
No,
but
no, no,
you
no,
have
no,
choice.
no.
No,
What
you-
I said, no.
but you have
you
choice.
didn't hear what I said. What I said was it will change the way
Yeah,
that
it
your
will
life
affect you.
be. No matter what you do, it will change the life, unless you decide to ignore it. But other than that, it will basically change your life. It might. You won't
Being
turn out
raised in
as
that
that person
environment-
necessarily, but you can.
So put basically, being raised in that environment makes you more prone to repeat those tendencies unless you change yourself.
No, I said you can. It's not like it's. Hello there, Oreo. How are you doing today?
Wait, are
I don't
you
think
the
there's a
owner?
guarantee to any situation, but
Am I the owner? No, I'm not the
No,
owner.
I'm owner. Let's fucking go.
Oh, really?
Wait. How do I
Hey.
make myself
You should.
invincible?
You should already. I don't know how you do that. Toshi. Tashi.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're raised in an environment, then you're prone to repeat
Where-
those tendencies.
Are you,
That's what
are
you're
you
saying,
from
right?
Canada? Are you from Canada?
Yes.
Yes. He is.
Ah, I knew it. I don't remember what word you said that let me pick up on.
What
that. I
is
don't remember.
what is that? What being from Canada tips you off on something?
No. I said I was trying to figure out. You said a word that let me figure out that you were from Canada, but I forgot what it was.
But
All
right.
No, I was just asking a question.
Z or Z?
C or Z.
Well, whatever rhymes.
It's Zed.
Fucking
I-
wrong.
I say
Z.
Z. I say
Z.
Z, and I'm
The
American.
fuck is a
so-
zebra, dude? It's a zebra.
Zebra. No, I'm not saying that you're destined to come that way. I am actually. I guess I was saying that you were more likely to come that way, but only because you were exposed to it. But that's basically the only reason.
Yeah, I mean that's basic human biology.
I mean,
Wait, is it Xanax or ZX? It's not even spelled
Huh?
with a Z though.
Yes.
Never mind then.
no.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's very hard to determine what someone's gonna be like just based on their environment. However, I feel like it's much easier to determine what someone's gonna be like based on their environment.
I don't know. It's because my father was also, like, I have to use my father as an example because he's fully grown and has had children. So I guess he's the only example I can give. But he was raised in an environment with an alcoholic mother and father a father who beat the shit out of his mom and his brother, and his stepfather who later came along and did nothing but focus on making sure my dad was able to do physical labor. So no real father figure in his life, and if there was one, then it would just kick the shit out of him and his mom. And he was who took me away from my abusive household and has so far been nothing but a blessing to me and my future.
Right. So, but my
He's
point was.
45 and he has PTSD. He spent 15 years in the military, went through 2 abusive households and 2 abusive quote unquote fatherly figures, has trauma from all of that, and has done nothing but be the best
Exactly.
example.
Exactly.
But that was exactly my point, is that since that environment was a thing, he experienced that environment, he has changed.
Has he
and-
been to therapy? Therapy is a big part of that.
He
I
has
mean, like,
he has PTSD, of course he has.
Toshi, my
Exactly.
stepdad was the same way. He went through his parents were alcoholics and had lots of drugs.
Yeah,
And
I got
He-
basically the same story.
how... Yeah, I mean, I guess like
I mean, it
people
might not
rise
be to the
above
same
and they
extent,
see
but-
the mistakes of their parents, I guess.
Yeah,
Some
again,
people
that's
don't.
one of the paths that
Some
people
peop-
take. It's either they fall
That's my
into it
entire
or they
argument,
better
guys.
themselves.
That's my entire argument as to why I don't believe I will ever want to repeat those behaviors or be prone to, because
Right. But most people don't want to do that. Most people that have, like, that abuse their wives or abuse their kids, they don't want to do that. They're just conditioned to do that because of their past experiences. If you took someone, I assume, I don't know this for sure, but if you took someone from their environment before they had the chance to actually experiment or experience it, then they wouldn't ever even think about like reproducing that, because they wouldn't have they wouldn't feel like they should or feel like they have to. But since that their father was basically their example, they're gonna want to do that just because it was.
it's ingrained in
Your-
him as a child.
if your argument this entire time has been raised in thing means you may do thing, I should have just stopped you at the start and said, yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, that's what I was going for the whole time.
Okay, well, you know what? You and we were having a debate, and we were debating about 2 completely different things.
I don't think
thought
it was
we
a
were agreeing
debate.
with each
I-
other.
I
What
thought
were-
it was a
what were-
discussion.
What
Yeah.
were you debating then, Toshi?
Yeah,
I was,
Toshi.
what I thought he was saying was, I thought he was saying that because you're raised in a thing, you may, like, 100% chance accidentally reproduce those things, whether or not you want to, because you were raised in them, so you're predetermined to at least once.
Oh, I think I picked up on when you were saying that, so I tried to stop you and say like, no, this is what I mean, and then I think I might have said the exact same thing, which again might have made you misunderstand. But that's still
No.
my fault.
Well,
Yes,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
no.
But here's what we gotta understand though. let's say there's 100 kids, okay, who are exactly identical, and they all have exactly identical parents, okay, and they
Yeah.
live in a controlled lab environment with all the same settings.
Truman Show.
They will all grow up to be the exact same, right? Like,
I don't know about
if
that
it-
one, but maybe.
if they're all in the exact same environments, they're all the exact same.
I was
Not
talking
exactly
about like
true.
I was talking about like copied tenants or
Genetically.
like same principles.
Like,
No,
no,
he's
if
talking about-
everything's the same.
Genetically the same. Genetically the
Because
same.
everything's the same. There's no randomness, right? If everything's
You know,
gen-
yeah, you might say that there's no randomness, but we don't actually know that. Like, you can be born with different conscience, like basically different consciousness. Like,
Perception is different from person to person, no matter how identical you are.
speaking of perception,
If you live the same, if you all get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, eat the breakfast, go to school, do the same thing with all the exact same people, you're all gonna turn out the same.
But no,
Oh,
not exactly,
no,
because your
no, if
perception is different. How you perceive things is always going to be different. Doesn't matter.
Not if
So-
they're
what happens.
exactly the same.
since you're
No,
talking
there's a
about
difference-
perception now,
There's a
I would-
difference
I would like
between
to bring up something.
values. There's a difference between values, beliefs, and perception. Perception is always just how you see things and what thought process you go through.
But you see things because of what you've experienced. That's why you see things differently.
Okay, so hold on. Let me say something about that. So, I think, based on what you were saying, like, if there was no randomness born into someone, then yeah, I totally think that yeah, they would turn out the same. But if someone was born with some sort of different like trait in the way that they
Yes.
think, then yes, they would totally turn out.
They could
Differently.
turn out differently, yeah.
But also speaking
randomness
of
is-
perspective, speaking of
Randomness is
perspective,
totally a thing.
speaking of perspective, there's this thing that's widely misunderstood that when people say, "Oh, you have it good," or "Oh, you have it bad," like just by your past life experiences, yes, that might be true in comparison to you, but that's in comparison to you. For them, what's bad for you might be like insanely bad for them, or like good
Yeah.
for them. So basically, everybody in their perspective have it equally bad as everybody else, except for it's not that way. It's just their perspective. So
But like, even if you're raised in the same everything, randomness still exists. And even if it's not randomness in the environment, there's still randomness within the body. Like, you guys ever just be sitting down and for some reason, maybe your like stomach or lungs just middle of nowhere hurt for some reason, and you're like, ah, what's going on?
Yeah. But
maybe
I
you
don't
get
think
like
that's.
a weird cramp or
no,
something.
but like
But that
like-
happens to you. Think about butterfly effect. Boom, your lungs hurt. Whatever. You go on through a different thought process because of that. Maybe you're thinking about something you saw earlier, as your lungs hurt.
We're getting into
I
the specifics.
think-
We're getting
think-
into the what
I think based on,
ifisms. This is never gonna happen.
okay,
No,
so
I'm just.
I think
let
what
me
I
sum
think
up. Let me just sum up real quick. Because randomness exists, it doesn't matter how identical you are. You will always perceive things differently.
Yes, so
I-
yeah, we are human and we all have unique traits, but we have to understand that just because those unique traits that some people rise above their environment, can't expect everyone to do.
Okay, so I think there's a slight misunderstanding because with the scenario you gave, it's not quite specific enough. The scenario you gave basically was that if everybody was in the same environment and had the same genetics, they would turn out the same.
Yeah,
However,
like the same parents.
That's not,
like,
yeah, that's not specific enough because if we don't know exactly how the universe works, believe it or not. So we don't know if people are born with like uniqueness in the way that they think in their brain. All we know is that like the different way that our like the things in our fire or the things in our brain fire, the pattern that they have, it'll
Hello.
depend on your. Hello, how are you doing today?
I don't like Trap Slayer.
What up?
You yell a lot.
I do. Just not right now.
But
Oh, gee,
Yo,
your
it's
voice.
midnight. Why would you be yelling, bro?
I know,
I don't-
right?
Oh, it's
don't
3 in the
really
morning.
think-
Wait.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
really
it's-
think we'll ever. I
It's,
don't
so,
think
it's
we'll ever
almost like
come to that
5.
answer.
Who wants
Almost
leader?
5
Yeah,
for
I
me.
don't think you can
Dude,
answer.
rock, paper, scissors for leader. Toshi
You know-
and Crispy, go.
Something that's always messed me up about perspective is like, I've always wondered like, how do other people see color and shit? Like everyone talks about that.
I've always wondered that, but you
Yeah.
can actually
Yeah,
figure it
and
out. Like
there's
that,
the-
Yeah,
it is.
I mean,
It is
everyone
definitely
has the same.
possible.
Everyone
to
has the
figure out.
same rods and
Yeah,
rods and
but
things
there's-
in their
Yeah.
eyes.
Another
There's the
thing, it's like,
different, what is the difference between, like, can you give me an exact temperature on the difference between warm and hot?
No.
Those are
No.
supposed to be general terms, so
It's like personal, man. It's like whatever you feel, dog.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
well,
Ma-
warm and hot is or warm, cold, and hot are all like
Relative.
meant to be general terms. They're
Yeah.
not. They're not meant
So
to be
is the word
specific. That's
red.
why we have.
Well, it depends on
So
your
is
pain
the word red.
tolerance.
Well, the color red is not something that's interpreted. It's different for other people, but that's only because it's other people. If you were to have basically
So is
like
warm
the
and hot.
well, yeah, but it's still a general term. Red is not a general term. Red is a
Like, because
thing.
it's a lot easier when you're talking about warm and hot. It's really hard to like run your hand under a sink and say when something becomes hot and then have that be the same answer for everyone who does the experiment. But it's, you ever notice how,
Well,
like, I'm sure that it's a lot more easy if you're setting the temperature of a room for people to be like, what's the difference between a warm room and a hot room? You're usually
Well,
gonna
people
get
have
around
different tolerances, though.
hot
Yeah, like
different
like
things.
warm weather.
Fuck you, son.
Like,
Yeah,
I can be in below freezing just fine, and I would be normally fine. But for someone that lives in Florida normally, would be a little bit. That would not be great for them. There's some
Yeah,
people
well,
that
that-
can do it
That's
that
me,
can-
bro. I grew up in the Middle East and I hate the
But-
fucking cold.
There
Yeah.
you go, Toshi.
I grew up-
Now
I
the
grew
the
up-
game.
Thank you.
Goodbye,
Oh,
everybody.
awesome.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm in California,
Later, dude.
man.
But
So,
even
like-
if you're sitting in negative weather and you're like, this is fine, you still understand that it's cold.
Well, yeah, because we've given it basically an exact definition, like for
Kind of.
for average. Okay, I guess
Yeah.
average. The average of Earth is not negative. It's not below freezing, I believe.
Right.
So it would be colder.
Freezing
than
of
average.
what? Like freezing of water?
Yes. Yes. That.
Yeah,
Yes.
there we go.
That's what. I mean, it could be the freezing of oil, but then I would be dead. So.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta specify, man. People
uh,
ask you retarded questions.
No, that's okay. I mean, I could have meant something else. I don't know.
I know.
I mean, I guess I
but,
wasn't specific enough. Below, or yeah, so below 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 0 degrees Celsius. There we go. I'm an American, so I use Fahrenheit, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, but red has an exact definition. The color is the thing that doesn't really have the exact definition. Because when you say red, it is referring to the exact color that is red. And there is an exact color that is red. But it is interpreted differently by different people. So the color red is interpreted different than red. Red should be a definitive term, and you should not misunderstand red, but it happens, even though it's almost a exact definition.
I'm sure it would have taken a really long time for them to come up with a definition of red.
I don't
'Cause
know.
If you think
Well-
about what's the
I mean,
definition of red?
Literally, there's like numbers
It's
that
just
like
a
mean
color.
red.
Yeah, right,
like,
right.
like
So
I'm just
it's,
thinking of this because I'm taking computer science right now, but like, there's
25
literally
it's
numbers.
25.
There's
500.
basically
Yeah,
a
255.
grid. There's
Yeah.
basically a grid. That
So there
says
is like
this
an
red
answer
and this is
for
not
what
red.
is red.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
sure it
No,
would have
it's
taken a
all
really
just
long
a color
time.
hue.
Okay,
Ah.
but the real problem is that people perceive red differently. Some
Right.
people perceive it more or less the same, and
Yeah, it
some
would've-
people.
It would have just
perceive
taken a
it
really
differently.
long time for them to do that because all the examples that everyone just gave about what the definition of red is all involved electronics.
Well, I
A
mean,
chart.
How do
Well, yeah,
numbers.
but we determined what was what for the electronics. Like it wasn't like
Right, but
true.
we gave it a problem, like
I
a
was just
formula.
saying that it would have taken a while
I mean,
because
it did, but
obviously red dye has been used for longer than computers have been around.
well, yeah. But at that time there was a
So,
less
would have taken a while.
specific definition, but there was still a definition. Like it was still
Yeah, it's
pretty
just-
specific.
My point is just that it would have taken a while. That's all.
Okay. Well, I mean, I do. Yeah. Okay. No, I think perception is pretty an interesting thing, but it's also
it's
kind
like-
of
It's like 5 in the morning for me.
yeah, me
Yeah.
too, man.
1 o'clock, baby?
I live in. I basically am Canadian, except for besides the fact that I don't live in Canada. So.
You're not Canadian.
How are you
what the
basically
fuck?
Canadian then?
Uh,
What?
That makes
Actually-
no fucking sense.
No, no, no. Okay, so I'm like the closest you can be to Canada without touching it. So,
Ohio.
So you're like in Vermont.
Nah.
You in like Detroit?
Almost.
Did you know that Detroit is above Canada?
Detroit is above Canada.
It is,
Well, that
yeah.
depends on. Yeah, I mean anything can be above anything on Earth, but.
No, it's literally above Canada.
It is. Oh yeah, above
Detroit.
parts of Canada.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
there's a
higher.
part of Canada that hooks into the U.S. and the city of Detroit is above the little hook of Canada.
You know, I mean, I bet, but like, Canada. I mean, you know, up and down is.
It's technically above.
Yeah. Okay. Above, up and down is different, like on a sphere. So. Like you can refer to anything as up and down on a sphere, basically.
I don't really like fucking care. I mean on a map.
I know. Yeah, on a map.
Like it's above.
Yeah, like come
Canada.
on, dog. You know what I'm saying.
Detroit is above the country of Canada in a very specific part of Canada. That's it.
Yeah, it's just a cool little popcorn fact. That's it.
Well, then a lot of places are above Canada.
Well, yeah, obvious. I mean, if you wanna, I mean,
South
Iceland
America is
above
not
Canada, I think.
above Canada in any way.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but that's only because not all of it is.
But what
underneath
if
that little
you turn Earth
hook.
upside down?
Well, Earth
then-
isn't upside down, so shut the fuck up.
Earth is
Earth-
upside
Earth
down.
can
Frick
be
you.
upside down.
When I
No,
look
at
yeah,
a
you
map, I
can't,
don't
you can't
know
say
what's the
Earth. You
point.
can't say Earth is upside down. The only reason it has it up is because people like when they were making maps were like, yeah, so this is right and this is left, and we're going left. All right.
Yeah,
So
so-
that
so
means
that
that
when
up
you-
is up and down is down. But that's only because
so
we
that
made
when
it
you're
that
going
way.
on a family road trip to New Mexico, you don't end up in the fucking Arctic Circle.
Well, yeah, but we can use northwest or northeast west. You know.
Because it makes
south.
sense.
We
Yeah,
could
well,
use
you
it
said-
instead of
you're
up,
saying
down,
that
left,
up
right.
and down are just terms that we've. Up and down
Well,
doesn't actually
up and
exist. They're
down
just words we
refers
use.
to gravity, so up and down doesn't actually apply to Earth.
does it refer to gravity?
Man, I'm just talking
I mean,
about
there's
a
still,
fucking map.
like-
Why do we gotta get all philosophical?
Yeah, there's no,
Because
yeah.
I mean, like, because it's just a conversation. We can talk about something else. I'm okay with that. I'm just.
Can we talk about beer and sports?
Canada, please.
Yeah, please.
I'm okay with that. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm just saying you can say that about a lot of things.
Why you gotta take this long route to say like, yeah, I agree with you, but-
Because I'm trying to have a conversation,
It's 5 in the morning. I've been drinking. Please.
man.
You're ruining
Yeah,
this
that's no
man's
excuse.
brain.
That's no excuse. to
It
not
is an
be
excuse. He just used it.
brave. That's.
And I got out of it. I got
yeah.
out of it.
You know what? You know, I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna continue. It's fine.
I don't know. Who wants to be owner next?
Bro,
Me.
what the heck, bro? It's past like 3 people already.
What the heck? I don't want owner.
Okay, I'm giving it to Bacon.
Oh, okay. I'm out of here.
Why?
Because I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, but why me? Give it to someone else.
You've been here, I guess Big Ear Jay has been here for quite some time. So has Ven.
I think I actually have been here the longest, unless. Oh, I mean, I think you were here first, but I think I have been here the
Yeah.
longest.
Well, either way, I just want to be here anymore, so.
Bye bye.
Okay, goodbye.
That's all she wrote.
Is it just me, or did he start kind of getting a little bit mad at the end?
I don't know. Maybe.
Doesn't matter. I think it was just a sensitive topic. What? Am I wrong?
Talking about like up and down.
Yeah, how is that? How's that sensitive?
Oh, I thought you were talking about earlier.
No.
No, I think he was fine with that. I
They just started flaming bacon. Why? Why do you care?
I think he is perfectly fine. I think he is just tired or done with
that-
us talking,
That could
probably.
be it.
I don't know. I like talking about I just like talking in general.
Yeah, it was a fun conversation.
Hello, Alex Fam 6. How are you
Hello.
doing today? Oh, hello.
Yeah, I'm on my brother's account. I forgot the password to my original account.
Well, that's cool. I mean, yeah, okay. Not sure why that matters, but
Cold. There are like 300 freaking fans in this room.
oh,
Yeah, we can hear them.
Ginger Bringer. Oh, that's
Binger,
interesting.
Ginger Binger.
Hey, how goes it, guys?
How goes it?
Are y'all playing a normal game or y'all playing something real weird?
We're just talking.
Yep.
Okay, well that's cool too.
Yeah. I actually just made like a bunch of characters in Gacha Club.
I would try and interpret that, but I have no clue what you said. But you know, if you don't like.
Okay,
remember,
well,
that's
well,
perfect.
no. Okay, so no, this is not Asperger's or anything. Like, okay, so last game I played, we played some sort of like Adams Family game. I don't know what the fuck that meant.
Did you just say freaking Addams Family?
Yes, and then prior
What
to
is that?
that, we actually played a murder mystery game, and then after before that we actually played something where we just guessed who would be the murderer if we shot each other.
So
I don't
it's
even-
basically
I-
Among Us.
I think
Well, yeah.
that
So
sounds
like,
Russian.
so like this seems like the most normal game I've played, and frankly, I just was in here for like maybe like 5 seconds.
So the murder mystery was basically just like Among Us.
Well, it wasn't like Among Us, except for the fact that like nobody did anything. They all just stood there and then talked about it.
We both just stared at each other. It was very awkward.
Yeah. It was like we both looked each other in the eyes, and then one of us was like, "I'm gonna rape you," and you're just like, "I'm gonna run," and then that was pretty much how the game went.
That sounds like an appropriate reaction to someone saying that I'm gonna rape you. That sounds like an
That's
appropriate-
exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened in the last game.
As long as saying that.
say that around a child.
What's
I
wrong
mean,
with
you're
saying
playing
that
an
to a
adult
child?
video game, so
That
I don't know what you're
is-
expecting.
That's
it's
exactly
it's a
what
teen
happened
bit
in the
better.
last game.
I mean,
I feel-
technically,
You know
It's
what?
a
No,
teen-rated
I feel,
game.
I
I
feel
don't know.
actually uncomfortable even telling y'all that in this one, and then even playing.
well, that's okay. I mean, I think I think if you're gonna, you know, that is something that I'm curious about. What you guys think about that? Like, this is a teaming up game, which is it shouldn't be, but this is a teaming up game, and but they made this custom game thing, which I think that's where it kind of draws the line, like, because there's gonna be, I mean, it's definitely their parents' fault if the kids like play this game and then the parents don't agree with it. That's their
The
parents'
kids being rapists, or
No.
I'm just kidding. I honestly
guy's
I'm
so loud.
missing a whole thing because I don't know what Among Us is because I am like 100.
You're a
So,
100.
well, I mean, like,
This guy's
you know,
not a real
I asked
human.
my younger brother what this was earlier, and he's like, yeah, like, you know, like, all your friends are playing Among Us. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And he's
You
like,
want me
are
to tell you what
he
it
said,
is?
he said, Lance, are you 100? And I said, well, I don't know. I mean, do you think I'm 100 because I don't know what it means?
It's
And he's
just
like,
become
kinda.
a popular game
Would you like me to
recently,
tell you what
that's
it
all-
means- what
that's
it is?
all it is.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I guess I'm gonna have to.
Well, Among Us is basically like a murder mystery game. You don't know, there's somebody called an imposter, which is basically the murderer. An alien
Have you ever
is
played
being
Mafia
released-
or One Night Ultimate Werewolf?
No.
Then never mind. Carry
You
on.
What
haven't
about
played
Town of
Mafia?
Salem?
Could,
Wait,
could you
hold
go
on.
to
Never
like an
mind.
older
Never mind.
game,
You are
like
100. I changed my mind.
What
You
about
definitely
Trouble in
are
Terrorist
100.
Town? I
I
don't know.
might be 100.
You might be 100, man.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You have. You might have played Mafia. You might not just.
I'm
recognize it.
sorry, guys. I'm 100. I'm 100.
How old are you actually, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm 31.
Ooh. Well, I mean, that's just.
I'm
your-
100.
That's just on your part.
Well, yeah, it's basically 100.
Yeah, basically 100. I mean, I know, but like I know people that are like 40 and mothers that play this game. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I haven't
they
reached
have-
that end
they have
yet.
Children that are 31 and they're 100.
wait, hold on. You can't have.
I'm
children
just kidding.
that are
Yeah,
100.
actually, you can. I work in an ER, and I've seen an 8-year-old have a child, and so frankly,
Okay,
you
yeah,
can, but it's just not pretty.
It's a bit. No. You can't both be 100. It is literally impossible for the human body to give birth at -0.
No, I know.
He knows.
Ginger, would you
Okay,
like me
go
to
ahead,
tell you
go
what
ahead.
Among Us is?
I would love it.
Among Us is basically like murder mystery, but there's a person called an imposter. And the imposter is basically like the murderer, an alien from another planet that disguises itself as one of your crewmates. Now, see, you have to vote to see who the imposter is, and if you get the wrong person, you still have to go on and do your tasks. But if you get it wrong, but if the imposter kills you and you have a pet, the pet will just cry next to your dead body.
Ah, okay.
Oh, and
Alright.
if you're not doing your tasks,
But can you kill the imposter? So is
By
he
voting
is he
No, you can-
vampiric?
no, you can't
So
kill the
he's
imposter.
Dracula.
Gun. No, you can't kill the imposter with like a weapon, but you can throw him out of the spaceship.
It's basically just
Holy
a game
shit.
of just deceit and lying.
You know the movie The Thing, like that horror movie?
Yeah.
That as a video game.
Okay. You could have said
There we
Dracula
go.
too. You could have said
Yeah, it's-
Dracula too.
No, it's more like The Thing.
Okay. I'm in. Yeah, sounds awesome.
I mean, you could totally attempt to play the game. I mean,
No, well, I'm in, and also I do have the game.
oh,
My brother gave it to me.
Whenever
Does he-
somebody says sus, would you
Hey.
like to know what it means? Whenever
What's
somebody
sus?
says sus, it means suspicious.
Yeah, I actually would like to know what it means, and also, don't ever ask me what something means.
what does tryptophobia mean?
Tryptophobia. Now, you know, in
Pulls
that
up his keyboard.
particular instance, I would like to think that it actually trypto a fear of I don't know falling.
A fear of falling. I don't actually. That might be what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's a fear of mannequins. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, mannequins. That is true. Yeah, trypto. I don't know.
What?
Usually, though, usually no one wants to know what the word I used was.
What's the word you used, and for what? And what are you talking about?
Well, because the thing is, I work in an ER, and so usually whenever I use a word, it's not something that's pleasant or okay.
Well, what word? Or just like in general?
I
don't really.
Let's see.
I'm just kind of confused.
Yeah.
Well, just a sec.
Red Robins.
Yum.
Red Robin.
When's the last time they had an ad?
Well, they stopped doing that because Robin started running into cars,
What?
and
Wait, what?
it stopped. No, Robin started running into cars into a certain state, and frankly, Red Robin didn't start to be a fun thing.
What? I think that's still like their
That
catchphrase.
doesn't quite make sense to me,
Actually,
but
found like a little like pool area in the game, in this map.
so what words were you using that were making people? Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
In the game or in real life?
I don't know. Whichever one you're talking about.
Oh my, this is. Whew. Yeah. No, I get you.
Okay, good time.
I feel you on that one.
Yeah. I mean,
Hey, somebody come to like the restaurant area in the game. It's like right next to the cheese shop.
There's a restaurant.
Yeah, there's a little cafe.
cafe. Cafe.
Okay, so this is not necessarily just like a word, but on Valentine's Day, my coworker, she works in wound care, and so she told me that she thought it would be funny, so there were two different guys. One guy came in, and he had put a zip tie around his penis, and he had zip tied it as tight as it could possibly be done, and they had to cut it off, and then they had to cut all the way around it, and so she told me, she said, well, it looks like a heart. So, happy fucking Valentine's Day, Lance. And it was this giant, fucking huge wound around this guy's dick with the heart. Now, the next guy had done something even worse. He had slit part of his penis down the middle, and he had ripped it partially open, and she said this is what happens on Valentine's Day, and it was just a ripped penis all the way down.
You know, I can understand why people might not be too... Okay, man.
So sometimes there aren't words for it.
You know, I don't think you should ever even try to use words for that, please, ever.
Well, you know, I didn't want to, and then I thought about it, and I was like,
Oh,
I mean, there's gotta be words somewhere here, right? But there weren't.
I think you did want to, and you meant to use the words.
Well, I wanted to, but I didn't. I just couldn't.
It's like a party trick, you know. You have to have a story.
That goddamn Jennifer.
Yeah, fucking Jennifer.
Jennifer, she's the worst.
Remember when I was talking about kids playing this game?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, okay. Alex, what you were complaining about the rape thing, and then you're like, oh no, that was funny on this. What's so much better about this part?
There's nothing funny about rape.
There is nothing funny about rape, but
I was not talking about that.
Here, I can. So you know how people make jokes talking about rape?
Yep.
I know that there are people that do make jokes about rape, and
Like
I
the
do know.
girl trapped in my basement joke. That's messed up, dude.
Yeah.
I do know that, that once they make that one joke, they do not ever make it again in front of me.
Hold on. No. Wait. Before you... Okay, so you have to know the history, basically, of comedy, right? So comedy is... It has nothing to do with race. That's not even close to the comparison I'm making. The comedy has to do with basically... people are laughing because it's so absurd, right? Or...
Of course!
So, like, when someone makes a joke, people normally laugh because it's either abrupt, or it's sudden and it's not what you expected, or it's because
so beyond the pale that you're just like, that could never happen.
Or it does happen and you know it happens, and people are making fun of it because it happens, and it's so absurd and that's why people are making fun of it. So when people make, like, let's just say a rape joke, they're not making the joke because they support it. They're making the joke because it's so absurd that people do it that's why it's funny. Now there
Right.
is people that make rape jokes that are like, aha, this is funny because it's for whatever reason.
Right,
they think it's
right,
funny.
right.
But when most people are making the jokes, they're doing it because it's so absurd that it's funny. Now, it's also normally a way to just basically like things that have happened in your life, right? It's
Right. Like you can do it if it's happened to you and it's been so horrific, you can do it, but
right, like
yeah, right.
it's just a way to like
Right.
basically show your life
Good.
story. And
Yes.
especially males do that because they basically have no other way of doing it. 'Cause
Right.
males are conditioned to think that you're not really supposed to talk about that, so they make fun of it because they don't have any other way to do it. Otherwise, they'll basically.
At least theoretically, sure.
Yep. But like, so that's why I don't give people crap most of the time for making jokes like that. And I tell people like that's normally what their intent is. Yes.
I want to know what I wish my dad was like every day. Like he would always burst into my room. Are you winning, son?